You have asked me about my school, what I teach, how I teach, and who I am. Let me start first with who I am. I'm a long experience of teaching English. I'm 90 years old, so I should know something about teaching English. And I have been teaching it for 25 years in Mexico City. Here I've taught it in schools, I've taught it privately, I've taught it face to face, and I have taught it on the internet. At present, I teach face to face privately. I only have one student, and I teach it on the internet. This is my school. It is my living room, as you can see. I prefer that. I keep the cost down, and by not having a multitude of students that I need in order to support my overhead cost. My cost is minimum because the only thing I'm paying is nothing. The rent covers my home, and I'm very comfortable at doing it here. My school is different. Over the years, I have, from my information and from my experience with students and so forth, have learned that the usual way of teaching in schools, especially here in Mexico City, because many of the teachers are Mexicans, and I call what they teach Spanglish. They teach English as if it's Spanish. I can explain that somewhere along the line, but and they emphasize uh, grammar. Well, I do not teach grammar because I found out that you don't remember it, you cannot uh, remember how to use it, when you need to use it. It gets in the way. It just is not necessary to learn. I use a method of not learning the language. Learning means you study it, you get the rules and everything, and you apply them. I use a method called acquiring a language. And acquiring means that you absorb it from around you by movies, by uh, TED Talks, by listening to Americans speaking English. You absorb it. Believe me, I know this is true because I had that experience myself some, uh, I guess 70 years ago when I was in Germany. I learned German that way just by listening to it. And I also changed my accent from that of a Southern accent to a Midwestern accent. So I know it works. I'm not just supposing it does. So what I do now is I don't teach beginners and I don't teach, well, I do teach intermediate. People come to me after studying English for years, realizing that what they know doesn't work for them. They want to improve their English for their job or maybe for travel, whatever. They find out that when they go and talk to Americans, they are not understood. Most Americans will make some attempt to understand somebody who speaks English very well. What I'm going to say now you might find a bit alarming. Generally, it's not known. I found this out myself after many years of studying English. Contrary to what people believe, English is the most complex language in the world. Let me begin by saying, and really to be able to speak English properly, you have to learn 3 forms of English. There's a written English, there's a spoken English, and there's the accented English. Let me show you an example of written English. What you see is, what is your name? Now you pronounce each word. What is your name? Okay? And that is how you read. When you read word for word and you pronounce it fully. Now, let's go to speech. Taking that same sentence, what is your name? When we speak it, we really blend words together and do different things to it, and it comes out, what's your name? What's your name? Which is not what you see in the written word. And then we go to the form of accent, and that means the particular area that you are living in and how people speak in that area. Now, I speak Midwestern English, which is usual English used for broadcast, TV, radio, etc. Now, if I came from Texas, I might say, what's your name? It'd be different. That maybe is a poor imitation, but it would change the words, how they sounded, and how they're pronounced. In addition to learning those things I have just mentioned, you need to improve your vocabulary. Usually in the schools, or my experience has been, they teach you a basic vocabulary, which might be somewhat sufficient for most speech, but you need to know other speech besides that, that's informal speech, which most of us speak, English people speak informally, and they will be phrasal verbs, and phrasal verbs are a verb plus a preposition like come in, go in, come out, sit down, and you cannot really get the meaning of the word just from the word itself. You need to see a content for you to really know what they mean. And then you need to know idioms, and idioms are words that are taken from different situations. Like, for example, in baseball, we use the word strike out, which is part of baseball, but we use it in our language to indicate other things. Now, strikeout means in baseball that you fail to hit the ball, but it can, in life situation, it could indicate failure. For example, you went for that job, you went to that interview, but you struck out, meaning you had the interview, but you didn't get the job. And there's a great deal you need to learn too. Your vocabulary needs to be much enlarged because the average American has 20 to 30,000 words in their vocabulary, which I think far exceeds other languages in the number of words. The English language has a vast number of words. One estimate is at least 1,000,000 words. So you also need to know how to pronounce those words. You cannot pronounce it as giving you in the example by reading. You have to have, there's 26 sounds in the Roman alphabet, but there's 45 sounds. And the other sounds are made by what we call a phonogram. Means a picture of the word. And they consist of 2 to 4 letters put together for one sound. Let me show you a quick example. Laugh, laugh. So you need a real good teacher to become efficient or proficient in English. And I am that teacher. And if you need more information, call me at this number. Thank you for listening. I'll see you. Bye-bye.